village of Meigle lies in the valley of Strathmore, between the Sidlaws and the foothills of the Grampian Mountains. Meigle is one of the oldest villages in Scotland. It is first mentioned in the 9th century in the Register of St Andrews, but there seems to be sufficient evidence of its existence before the year 563, when St Columba converted the Picts to Christianity. Let's see what present-day Meigle looks like. This lovely old tree holds pride of place at the centre of the village. No one can say why, when, or by whom the tree was planted, but I feel sure it has some story. It is the only variegated sycamore I have seen in the district. The village is very well equipped with shops. 3 generations have kept this family business going since 1809. Close by is the joiner's yard. In an age of mass production and prefabrication, it is good to see craftsmen who really know their job. The village post office was erected in 1873. And Meigle is very fortunate indeed, having 2 mail deliveries a day. The village blacksmith, alas, no longer shoes horses. Since farming has become fully mechanized, the repair of farm machinery is his everyday work. But he is also an expert in the art of wrought iron. Some of his gates have won awards and high praise at Highland shows. Here are some of his gates. There's a nice garden behind this gate. Neighbours meet and chat beside a very old building. Was a coaching inn known as the Angel, a stopping place for the stagecoach on its way from Edinburgh to Aberdeen. The building now houses a butcher shop and a fish and chip shop. On past this busy housewife, we come to the village sweetie shop, well patronised by young and old. Keep the Home Fires Burning could well be the signature tune for the coalman's weekly call. This beautiful weather vane once graced the spire of the old village kirk, which was burnt in 1869. The plumber's and slater's yard. The education of Meigle children is in step with modern requirements. These first-year pupils will finish school well equipped to take their place in whichever walk of life they choose. Physical fitness is important, and Sports Day is a great event. Others have cheered on in a race to show whose mum is best. Close to the school is the bowling green, where we find a championship match in progress. Both the men and the women of Meigle are keen bowlers. Public services are excellent, and collection of refuse is made twice a week. This man seems to be happy in his work. And here's the man who keeps your village neat and tidy. There is a pleasant mixture of old and new houses in Meigle. Old or new, most houses have well-tended gardens. Just beyond the hedge, once stood a distillery, now a contractor's yard. This house is probably the oldest in Meigle. It still has its original thatch under the corrugated iron roof. The County Council have planned a housing scheme which fits in well with the rest of the village. This garden was a prize winner at a nearby flower show. The senior members of the community haven't been neglected, and they enjoy a comfortable standard of living in these little modern houses. One of the oldest buildings is this red stone house, built in 1801. It was the old bank house. Now it comprises a dwelling house and a draper's shop. Today's bank is just a step away. The very latest house to be built in the village is this one. Just beyond the house is where once stood Fullerton Castle, a stronghold in olden days and a link with the kings of Scotland. Now in that vicinity stands Meigle Cottage Hospital. The manse, built in 1749, stands in a secluded, pleasant garden surrounded by trees. It is a lovely old house. Our church is now 100 years old. Here comes the youngest member of the community, arriving for his christening. I wonder how many changes he will see in his lifetime. Members from all age groups attended the Centenary Sunday service. The church bell bears an inscription, "Fear God, honor the King, 1793. The following Sunday, after a week of centenary celebrations, the house and garden of Drumkilbo were open to the public. Drumkilbo is the home of Lord Elphinstone, first cousin of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Her Majesty spends some time each year with her cousin at Drumkilbo. Meigle House, now the Meigle Hotel, was built in 1796. Nothing is known about the beautiful red stone outhouses. This one is entirely built of stone. No wood has been used except for the window frame. The arched roof is an interesting feature. By courtesy of the proprietors, the Golden Age Club enjoy the comfort of the hotel lounge where they hold their meetings. A special event is the Christmas party. This beautiful Roman bridge across the River Dean has been reconstructed in part. The bridge leads us to where each summer students of archaeology uncover bit by bit the site of a Roman camp. The name Cardine means camp on the Dean, so Cardine owes its name to Agricola's camp in AD 84. The house of Cardine has been demolished. The only building left now is the lovely old stable. The war memorial takes the form of this handsome gateway to the playing field. Meigle has long association with the world of cricket. There seems to be something in the air here that breeds first-class players, and the village can proudly boast one international cricketer. The tennis courts are good, and the two youngsters here know how to use them. They certainly have a good idea of the game. The playing field is seldom empty. The place of interest is Belmont Castle and Estate. The original castle, built in 1502, was destroyed by fire. In 1885, it was bought and restored by Sir Henry Campbell Bannerman, a Liberal Prime Minister. The castle is now a Church of Scotland Eventide home. The surrounding parkland is beautifully laid out. Shaded by trees at the west gate stands this monolith. Maybe it was a meeting place. Maybe it had some religious origin. Who knows? There are many magnificent trees. One of them, a tall Canadian pine, is known as Alberta Anna. This is Alberta Anna. Sir Henry never failed to raise his hat to this gracious lady from the west. Sir Henry Campbell Bannerman is buried in Meigle churchyard. Belmont Camp is sponsored by the Scottish Education Department through the Scottish National Camps Association. This is Visitors' Day. It is a residential school camp which provides boarding school conditions, lessons with a difference, and outdoor activities. The buildings, which are centrally heated and up to date, comprise assembly hall, dining hall, recreation hall, classrooms, dormitories, sick bay, and staff quarters. There are playing fields for football, hockey, etc. Well worth a visit is the Meigle Museum, once the old school. Pictish and Celtic stones were collected from the churchyard and surrounding districts and are now preserved here under the Ancient Monument Act. Visitors from many parts of the world have signed the register. The No Village Custom. Memorial Hall was opened in 1913 and is used for all kinds of activities. The Meigle Burn. Trains no longer pass over the old bridge. The rail service has given way to road transport. The boys digging for worms will be off to fish the Isla which winds its way past Meigle on the north side. This young angler has lots of patience. Patience has its reward, small though it may be. The fertile valley of Strathmore is particularly suited to the growing of raspberries, and each July sees the berry picking in full swing. Young and old alike go to the berries. This farm favors the old-style berry picking and weighing. This one, the more modern style. At the close of the fruit-picking season, it's harvest time. Crops are golden and ready for cutting. Soon the village will settle down for winter and winter activities. Meigle has many, many facets. This is our village album.